Hey everybody, I am David, and today I'm going to be talking about...
Hey, who are you?
I am you. Or at least an aberration of you. And I am here to change time. Because instead of talking about an episode, we are actually going to be talking about the whole season of Legends of Tomorrow. Hey everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be talking about Legends of Tomorrow Season 2. That's right, the season has finally come to an end. I thought the other DC TV shows were going to be on this week, but unfortunately they are not. It was only at Legends this week, and that's fine because the season finales are always cool because they're wrapping up the season, giving us something to look forward to at the same time for next season. And instead of just doing the episode of the season finale, which was really good, by the way, I want to talk about the season as a whole. So first about, we got all our returning characters in the beginning of this season, as well as two new regular members, Nate and Amaya, also known as Citizen Steel and Vixen. I thought those two characters really brought some interesting dynamics to the team. I thought they really fit in well. I wasn't too sure about them at first, but they eventually really grew on me, especially Nate. Nate, I was too... Because he's in the beginning, the very first episode, when we see him go to Oliver Queen's office in the beginning of the season, I thought, is this guy going to be a little, crazy? But he actually turned into a really cool member of the team. And Amaya, who was from the JSA, who I thought was going to play a bigger role this season. They didn't play a big enough role that I thought they were going to play out. They were only in the first 3 episodes or 2 episodes of this season. And then some of them returned later on throughout here and there. But they weren't heavily factored into the overall plot. But for what it was worth, I thought it was cool that we got to see Amaya. I'm not too sure about the way her character ended, though, because how does that change the Vixen from the present day? But then again, I guess the way they left it hanging, which I want to get to later, maybe that's one of the ramifications of keeping Amaya around now. Maybe that's because she's, with the rest of the crew, maybe now that's going to cause a lot of problems. So yeah, the two new characters fit in really nicely. I really like the characters. I think the characters this season were a lot more stronger than they were in Season 1, where I felt Season 1, I kind of look at it as the Justice League animated series, where Justice League Season 1 was the creators, and Bruce Timm, the producer of those cartoons, even admitted it, that Season 1 was their way of testing the waters and seeing how things work. That's what I think Legends of Tomorrow Season 1 was. And Season 2, they know what they want this show to be, and they're getting it. Some people say, oh, it's a little too campy, but I think that's the point of Legends of Tomorrow. That's what I think made it fun. And I think they found a way this season to really balance the fun aspect as well as the drama aspect of the series. And really, out of all these CW superhero shows, Legends of Tomorrow is the one that's the least superhero. I mean, they are time traveling and saving certain time periods, but I feel like they don't wear the suits a lot or use their powers all the time. It's like they kind of find ways to not all the time use their powers. So sometimes it doesn't really feel like your typical superhero show. So that's one of the things I really liked about this season, where I feel like last season I felt like they were trying to find ways to always get them in the suits and be superheroes. This season, I think they realized, you know what, don't worry. Just if we need them in the costumes, we'll put them in the costumes. They don't always have to be in their suits. They don't always have to be using their powers. Firestorm didn't always become Firestorm in every episode. There were times where they were always separate, and they tried doing other things to help their teammates. And there were some really strong episodes throughout, like character-centric episodes. Like in the early on in the season, we had that episode where Jax was dealing with racism, where they went back to, it was almost like 12 Years a Slave, almost. Obviously a PG-13 version of it. But I remember it was like a pretty strong episode. The fact that I still remember that episode shows that they really did that episode well. And that was the first time where I really noticed, hey, Legends of Tomorrow is doing some interesting things here. Let's see what else they have. And the Legion of Doom, as soon as they came in, that's when things really started getting even more interesting and more elevated. A part of me was hoping Vandal Savage would have returned and been part of the team as well. It would have been cool because I liked Vandal Savage from the first season as a villain. I thought he was really cool, and it would have been nice to see him hanging out with the rest of the Legion. But from what we got, I mean, Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne, if you saw the finale, he lives up to what he is. I think he is a great villain, and I hope this isn't the end that we've seen of him. I hope that he, even if he doesn't come back on Legends of Tomorrow, which I wouldn't mind if he did, but I think he's a tough character for this show to handle because you would need another speedster. So unless they brought in Wally or Jesse Quick or something onto the show, I don't think they could really have Reverse Flash back, because even in the finale you could kind of see like, okay, how do we make this guy challenging? And if you see, he was like the final boss in the fight, and he was taking them all out so easily, and he could. But he's such a great foil to any hero that I think he's gonna be back on the Flash, I hope. So we'll see. And of course we got Damien Darhk, who was, he was misplaced, I think, on Arrow. I don't think he was a good fit for Arrow because of the type of personality that he was, but he fits so good in Legends of Tomorrow Season 2. If you were someone that didn't like Damien Darhk because of the way Arrow Season 4 went out with him, I think this is a good redeeming point for Damien Darhk. And the actor, even if you didn't like the way the character was, I think everybody can admit that the actor is really good. Whether Arrow Season 4 was good or not is irrelevant to his acting. I think as an actor, he's really good and really fun to watch. But he really fit well in a show like Legends of Tomorrow. And that's kind of what I said during Arrow Season 4. When that ended, I thought Damien Darhk would be better suited in something like The Flash or like Legends of Tomorrow or Supergirl even. And I think this is proof right here. And of course, we got Malcolm Merlyn, who kind of looked like he could have taken charge from Reverse Flash if Reverse Flash wasn't faster than him and overpower him. But yeah, I love John Barrowman is amazing, so I'm glad we got him on this show. And then Leonard Snart, I thought he would have been introduced more earlier on in the season, especially when Mick started getting those hallucinations. But yeah, he was kind of underused. He only came towards the end, but when he came, it was really good. Those last 3 episodes with him, it was great to get Wentworth Miller back. I thought they would have found a way to bring Captain Cold back to life, but I guess they were like, guys, we do this too much with some of these shows. We can't keep bringing people back to life. So maybe it's good that he's dead. But I was hoping like Mick and Leonard would one day go back to the Flash. But it looks like we're not going to get that. Leonard's dead. Mick's going on. And I love Mick. I think Mick is a great character. He had some of the funniest moments, including his intro to the show. He had like 2 or 3 episodes where he was doing the intro, which I thought were some of the best intros in the entire season. We got some really cool destinations. Obviously, the crossover. They had the third part of the crossover, which was a nice little wrapping. I think it was the weakest of the crossovers, but that didn't affect the series overall. I think overall the season still had fun. I was kind of hoping that we would get Barry to guest star on one more episode towards the end, to help out with Reverse Flash, but that didn't happen. I'm not angry about it, but it would have been nice. And I think Mark Guggenheim was even hinting at it, that they were trying to make it work out, but it looks like it didn't get to work out the way they planned. As for next season, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next season with the way this season finale ended. With the Legends, they thought they saved time. Rip Hunter's leaving. He's going off to who knows where. Hopefully we get to see him again one day. I would like to see Rip again one day because Rip I think he's a cool character, The first season clearly centered on him the most. And then season 2 it felt like they were letting go of Rip. And I'm glad they didn't kill him off, which they made us think in the first episode they did. But then when he came back in that George Lucas episode, I thought that was nice. And I was kind of worried that they might have killed him off. Well, they kind of killed all the Legends off in the season finale. But I'm kind of glad I'm just glad they kept him around if they want to bring him back, just like Hawkman and Hawkgirl, if they ever want to bring any of them back, at least we know they're out there somewhere. So that's going to be really cool to see. I will also say that, the way they left it off, they come back to 2017. I was thinking they were going to be in the future, but apparently Gideon says that, no, you guys are in 2017 Los Angeles. And they look out the window, they look at whatever, their ship, and they see dinosaurs in 2017. And I'm just thinking, what the hell did they do? Is this because Amaya decided to stick around? I mean, Amaya, this is why you got to go back to 1941 or whatever. You're already screwing up this timeline. Look at this. What happened to Arrow? What happened to Flash? What happened to all the characters during this time? How did the dinosaurs take over just because of a little incident in World War II? Or is there something, or World War I? Or is there something more that you guys aren't telling us that we're not aware of? I have no idea. I thought this was a really fun season and definitely a bigger improvement over season 1. If you are somebody that gave up on season 1, I totally recommend to go and check out season 2, because I think season 2, I would say finish off season 1 if you didn't, because I do feel things are paid off in season 2. I mean, season 2 stands on its own pretty well, but if you really want to know where those characters came from and how they came to be in certain places, like especially the Mick Rory, Leonard Snart friendship, I think they give you enough background in this season on them, but it's better if you see how that friendship was formed and see what happened to Leonard back in season 1 to really get the idea from when he returns why it's a lot more heartbreaking for Mick. So with that being said, guys, Legends of Tomorrow Season 2, it was awesome. Great season. Definitely can't wait for Season 3, especially to see what their explanation, they better not half-ass it, their explanation on this dinosaurs going around Los Angeles now. Like, what the heck? Are we going to get, like, dino people or something? I don't know. If we get a talking dinosaur, I mean, they gave us talking gorillas and talking sharks. Why not? So until next time, guys, until I guess by the end of the year, right? Season 3, hopefully. Until next time, take care.